So all right, it is like month 5 of being single and living alone. You guys loved the single people recipes that we put out a couple weeks ago. So today I'm doing 3 more recipes for one, 4 recipes for single people, 4 recipes for people that live alone. Because you can be single, or you could live alone and not be single, but you live alone. So we're gonna cut down on food waste, we're gonna use what's in your pantry, and it's gonna be delicious. And today we're focusing on desserts. All right, before we get started, I wanted to give a huge shout out to Toodaloo, who is sponsoring today's video. Toodaloo is a ridiculously tasty cosmic trail mix that supports digestion, focus, energy, and skin. They're super tasty, but more on them a little bit later. When I say recipes for one, you're probably thinking like 1 cookie, 1 cake, 1 tart. Yes and no. It's cooking for one, but with some leftovers. So if you're going to go to the trouble to make something, you definitely want leftovers. They're just smaller batches. So the first recipe is double chocolate cookies. It only makes 4 cookies. You know, you don't have to eat 12 of them. You can only have 4. So you have like 1 or 2 cookies per day for the next couple days. Starting with our dry ingredients, we have some flour, cocoa powder, and baking powder, and give that a whisk. In another bowl, add some white sugar and some brown sugar and some vegan butter, and then cream that together. Oh, not like that. That didn't work out at all like I wanted it to. I need a larger bowl. Then add in some aquafaba and vanilla and mix it again. Oh my God. Please hold. Much better. And then add the dry to the wet, a little bit at a time. And then fold in your chocolate chips. This is also really good with peanut butter chips as well. You can use like a tablespoon or a cookie scoop. You wanna put about 2 tablespoons of batter onto a lined cookie dish. Then you just wanna throw it in the oven and bake it at 350 for about like 8 to 10 minutes. You want it to be like set on the outside, but soft and a little bit undercooked on the inside. Let the cookies cool on the baking sheet for about 5 to 10 minutes just to help them set a little bit, and then you can transfer them onto a wire cooling rack. All right, and there you go. That's how easy it is to make 4 cookies. I mean, it's so like chewy. All right, on to the next. Before we get into the next recipe, I wanted to take a quick second of your time to tell you about today's sponsor, Toodaloo. Toodaloo is a ridiculously tasty cosmic trail mix that has functional benefits. They have 4 tasty flavors that are good for both you and me and also the planet. Each bag is packed with protein, superfoods, and magic herbs like reishi, lion's mane, and turmeric that help support focus, gut health, energy, and skin. I think my favorite thing about these snacks is all the ingredients are sourced by regenerating polluted farmland. Plus they have the cutest names: Turning Heads, Smoke Show, Hot to Trot, and Slow Your Roll. Adorable, right? Plus they have like the cutest packaging, and I'm a huge sucker for packaging. Look at how groovy this is. They're super easy to toss in my backpack when I'm on the go, or, and this is a wild one, I like to jazz up my late night ice cream with the Slow Your Roll flavor, which is my favorite. It kind of tastes like a mix between maple brittle and pancake. Plus, this one supports relaxation, which is perfect before bed. So I highly recommend checking them out, and you can do that just by clicking the link in my description box. You can also use the code EdgyVeg for $5 off, and they have this OMG guarantee that if you don't agree that it's the greatest trail mix you've ever tried, they'll give you your money back. Which, like, you can't go wrong with that, right? Okay, let's get back to the recipes. All right, so our second recipe is a French strawberry tart. I consider it no bake, even though technically you do have to bake the shells, but you can like buy just the shells, and all you're doing is baking them for 10 minutes. So like there is baking, but it's also like no bake, because the filling, you don't have to, maybe I just won't call it no bake. But it's a French tart, that's the point. We're gonna start with these tiny little tartlets. I mean, I guess you can do a whole giant tart to yourself, but that seems insane to me. I like to use these little tiny ones. 2 of these are like what I would have for dessert. So you have a couple days worth of tarts without having to bake a big giant tart and have like tarts for 10 days. Or 1 tart for 10 days. I also find that they're like a nice little snack that you can just kind of like, you know, it's like a 2-bite brownie, but it's a 2-bite French tart. I'm going to throw these in the oven for about 10 minutes. What's also great about these little tarts, and really any pie crust, is that a lot of them are accidentally vegan. So I know that Tenderflake has a vegan one. Well, it's accidentally vegan. They use oil instead of butter. And then also No Name brand, if you're in Canada, it also is made with oil and not butter. So you don't have to make your pie crust from scratch, which is nice. Saves money, saves time. For our filling, we're going to do a typical pastry cream, just totally vegan. Now, pastry cream is the cream that you get inside of like an eclair or a tart. Pastry chefs use it for a number of things, and it's super easy. The base of this can be used for a number of things. You can even turn it into a pudding. But yeah, we're just gonna do a vanilla with a little hint of lemon in ours. To a small pot, I'm adding a couple cups of soy milk. I like soy milk for this, or any high protein milk, and then some sugar. And we're going to bring that just before a boil. And then we have another cup of soy milk or whatever high protein milk and some cornstarch. We're gonna mix those, we're gonna mix those together and just set that aside. This is called a cornstarch slurry. We use this in many, many, many things. This is what's going to like thicken it and turn it into a cream as opposed to just milk. When it's just before a boil, you wanna slowly whisk in, your cornstarch mixture. You wanna bring this to a simmer and just whisk it constantly until it's nice and thick. It should take about 2 to 3 minutes. It's going to happen fairly quickly. When it's nice and thick, we're gonna remove it from the heat and whisk in a pad of butter, as well as some lemon zest and vanilla. The pad of butter is just gonna make it even richer and creamier. And the zest really is going to bring out the flavor of the vanilla, as well as the flavor of the strawberries. All right, so when you take it off the heat, you just kind of want to set it aside until it cools completely. Now we're just going to spoon in the pastry cream into the torte. I'm going to do a little scoop in each one, and then I'm going to flatten it out. All right, so after you smooth everything out, you put a little strawberry on top for decoration. Put that in your fridge for about 2 hours, and what you are left with is this cute little tart. It's like a light, refreshing dessert. So good. The French really do know how to dessert. On to the next one. Our third recipe is a carrot cake for one. Technically, it makes two, so you can have one today and you can have one tomorrow or the day after. And cream cheese frosting. Carrot cake, cream cheese frosting. So good. We're going to add some flour, salt, cinnamon, and baking powder to a bowl. For your wet ingredients, cream together your melted butter and white sugar, as well as your aquafaba, which is acting as our eggs, and some vanilla. Lovely. Add your wet ingredients to the dry ingredients, and then mix it again. Add some plant milk. I like to bake with soy milk, but you can use whichever one's your favorite. And then fold in your carrot. All right, so you want to grease some little ramekins, just like that, because we are making two, remember? One for today and one for tomorrow. And then just pour in your batter. Throw them in the oven, bake them for like 20 minutes or until a toothpick comes out clean. So you can frost it with whatever frosting is your favorite. Personally, I prefer cream cheese frosting. I have a recipe for cream cheese frosting on my blog, but also you can buy cream cheese frosting from the store. And a lot of the time it's accidentally vegan, which is amazing. And you can leave it just like that, or chop up some almonds or some hazelnuts or some walnuts, and then you've got yourself a little cake for one. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's so good. I haven't had carrot cake in so long. Coffee, carrot cake. Oh, hell yeah. I'm retiring. All right, guys, there you have it. 3 easy desserts for single people. Plus, actually, but technically, it's 3 easy desserts and a snack. If you enjoyed these recipes for one, let me know by giving this video a big thumbs up. Let me know which one is your favorite in the comment section. And a huge thank you again to Toodaloo, who sponsored today's video. Make sure that you check out the link in the description box for their non-GMO, carbon-conscious, delicious snacks. Definitely click the link and use code EdgyVeg for $5 off. That's it. Okay, go bake some stuff. Buy some snacks. I'll see you next week. Bye.